Hello, and welcome to Brainy Gardener. Today, it is all about how to grow and care for the Aeonium Arboreum plant. Aeonium Arboreum, also called Houseleek tree and tree Aeonium, is a beautiful succulent plant native to the multiple Canary Islands. It is among the most famous Aeoniums in cultivation today, mainly because of its incredibly popular cultivar Aeonium Zwartkop, which has earned the award for garden merit from the Royal Horticultural Society. This Aeonium is considered invasive in Australia and has become naturalized in the Americas. Aeonium Arboreum has gorgeous green leaves arranged in a pinwheel pattern. Tree-like, thick branches form the supporting stems. The rosettes are generally smaller than the plant's body and don't form a large canopy over the entire bush-like structure. The branches multiply profusely, so there are always cuttings that you can take from the plant to propagate it further. It is a beautiful plant that can be used indoors and outdoors. Aeonium Arboreum is a sun-loving plant and will thrive when given full sun. If you are growing this succulent in a container, place the container at an angle to maximize exposure on all sides of the plant. These plants need light to grow, so it's essential to ensure they get enough sunlight. If your plants don't get enough natural light, you may need to supplement artificial lighting. Aeonium Arboreum is a bit more tolerant of shade than some of its cousins, especially during the hotter months of the year. Water when you feel the soil is completely dry. With their shallow root systems, Aeoniums require more frequent watering than most other succulents. In hot weather or during periods of drought, water it more often. In cold weather or higher elevations, where it is naturally drier and windier, water it less often. If you live in an area where temperatures remain mild year-round, you should water it 3 times per week in spring and once every 2 weeks during summer. Aeonium Arboreum prefers temperatures between 65 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit. The plant may be sensitive to cold temperatures depending on how dry the soil is. If the soil is moist and temperatures drop below freezing, there is a high chance the water will freeze and damage the plant from the inside out. Therefore, keep the plant as dry as possible during cold snaps. The ideal humidity level for these plants is between 40 and 60%. If you notice your plant is getting leggy or its leaves are turning yellow, it may be due to low humidity levels. You can easily elevate the humidity around your plant by misting it daily, placing a humidifier nearby, or growing other plants that require high humidity. Aeonium Arboreum is a succulent plant, so it's not necessary to fertilize it. However, if you'd like your plants to grow larger and faster, feeding them with a balanced fertilizer once at the start of their growing season will help. Feed these plants in spring or fall. There are 2 main methods of propagation for most Aeoniums, leaf and stem cuttings. To propagate Aeonium Arboreum by stem cuttings, take the stem cuttings from the plant. Use clean tools for this step. Place this piece of the stem in a dry spot at room temperature until its wounds callus over. This prevents roots from rotting. Plant the cutting in a potting medium that drains well. Use a potting mix that allows water to flow through it more freely than regular garden soil does. Once roots form, the cutting is ready to transplant into your garden or a larger pot. When propagating by leaf cuttings, pull the leaf from the plant. Be careful not to cut too low on either side. Allow the cut end to callus over for a few days. Once the wound has healed, plant leaf cuttings in a pot or container filled with potting soil and keep them indoors. Keep the pot slightly moist, humid, and under indirect light until roots form. Aeonium Arboreum should be repotted with new potting soil every 2 to 3 years if they are being grown in containers. To prevent standing water and root rot, choose a container with drainage holes. Instead of using a quick-draining succulent/cactus mix, use a standard potting mix to assist maintain the required moisture levels. A good mix is essential for the continued well-being of an Aeonium. It would help if you also stopped watering your plant for about 1 week before repotting it so that its roots dry out and will tolerate being disturbed better during this process. Remove the plant from the pot. Remove any excess soil from around the roots with your hands. Remove any dead roots and discard them. Put the plant into its new home and cover its roots with fresh potting mix. Press down on the soil gently so it sticks together and forms a solid ball. Find the right spot and place the container. The best spot will be one that gets plenty of light year-round. Aeonium Arboreum is non-toxic to pets or other animals. It contains no known chemical compounds harmful to pets or other animals. Aeonium Arboreum is susceptible to many pests that can be troublesome but are generally not fatal. These include aphids, mealybugs, and scale insects. Aphids are tiny green or black insects that feed on the sap of plants by piercing their leaves with needle-like mouthparts. Mealybugs are small white or grayish bugs covered in a sticky white coating made up of wax secretions and excrement, which gives them their appearance. They infect the undersides of stems and leaves. Scale insects can also be troublesome. The first option to treat any of these pests should always be natural remedies like horticultural oils or neem oil. Industrial-strength pesticides should be a last resort as they hurt the plant just as much as the pests. Please note and avoid overwatering the plant, placing the plant under harsh sunlight, using poorly drained potting mediums, and fertilizing during dormancy.